Well, I'm out here at Watonga Lake. This is my first real backpacking attempt. Just out here to kind of figure out if this might be a good place to hike or what I'm really capable of right now. Just got out here and just found a little area right here at the beginning of the trail. It's pretty cool. This is just a little tiny edge of the lake, like it's nothing, but apparently this is where the lake fills from. An underground spring. It's just pouring out constantly. That is amazing. I guess there's no river coming into this lake. That's how it's filled. That's pretty amazing. So that spring was pretty neat. My goals, for what I'm trying to do today out here, my first foray is, well, first of all, this is not my very first. I mean, I've been out to some smaller trails and, local things, just little, concrete trails around a pond or just a little short trail. I tried those out and, it was great. I mean, it helped me kind of, I tried my boots out. They did fine for a couple miles, but, I really needed something bigger. So I found this place out here. One of the reasons that I chose this lake in this area is, because of the elevation. There have been some decent ups and downs here and some rocks and things like that. There's supposed to be a great view from quite a ways up above the lake here in a little bit, so hopefully I'll get to video that. But anyway, I thought that would be maybe keep me a lot more interested and be more fun, a little more challenging than just a flat path. So that's one of the things I wanted to find. So that's what I'm doing out here and trying the boots out, see if they work a little bit, if they work okay. These things, they've maybe seen their better days, but they're decent enough boots, and I think we'll find out if they'll get me by for a short while or if I need to get something different. Kind of a neat little area down here. A little bit of water running through, so. Anyway, so I want to try the boots out. I want to see how I'm doing hiking-wise. I want to see how far I can go. This trail is around a 6-mile trail, and then there's another 5-mile one, so hopefully, I don't know whether I go over there or whether I continue to go that way. That's one other thing I'm learning out here. My map, I think that must be coming in and converging, so I'm going to keep going this way. The map I have doesn't appear to be very similar to the signs out here, so I'm just following the signs, making mental notes, as to which way I went, and so if anything, I can certainly find my way back. If I need to backtrack, whoa, there we go. So yeah, I've got a few little goals, just try everything out. I'm certainly not, one of the things I'm absolutely not trying to do is to determine, how to backpack or the camping part of it. I brought a big heavy tent in my truck. I'll set it up tonight. Not worried about that. I'm not trying to, figure out how to hike everything in and have all my food in my, tent and have things be light enough and all that. I'm just focused on the hiking part today, and the rest of it will be for fun, and this will just help me to gauge where I'm at and whether, this might be a good location. I knew how far away this was, but boy, after driving it, I can't imagine doing this constantly. So that may be the first thing I've learned, is that as cool as this place is, it may just not be realistic for me to do on a real regular basis. This may just be come out here once a month or something and enjoy it. But anyway, so I'm gonna keep hiking along and see how I do with everything. There's a nice little bridge. Another side path. And when I get to the top, I'll try to get some good video of, I guess they call it Inspiration Point. That's the top here. Maybe you can even see where I'm going to be camping tonight. And if there's anything I'm learning along the way, I will certainly throw that in as well. I'm continuing to follow the red arrows just to keep myself from getting lost. So I think this is probably right anyway. And you know, this kind of shows why I picked this out here. You can see a little bit of elevation. There's a little cliff up there, and I mean, you know, not Colorado, but Upper Mesa Loop, Lower Mesa Loop. Well, I say we take the upper. Oh, actually, that's at Inspiration Point this way too, so that's where we want to go. All right. Well, this is good. I'm feeling good so far. I gotta need to take my sweatshirt off, but yeah, a little out of breath. I mean, nothing major, but feels good. This feels like about my speed right now. Feet feel good. Everything feels good. Having fun. This is nice. Glad I found this place. Well, the elevation change is already paying off. Got some nice views. Wow. Really, really nice. And I haven't seen the lake yet from up here. There's the trail I was on down there. I wonder if the lake is right here, around this corner. Or I might still have miles. I don't really know exactly where I'm at yet. Let's see. That's a nice vista though. Wow. Beautiful. Yeah, I think I'm gonna like this place. Okay, I think I'm probably getting close to Inspiration Point, or maybe not, but got my first view of the lake out there. It's pretty nice. I can't quite yet figure out where my truck is down there and where I'm going to be camping, but somewhere, I think it might be right over there. That little tiny bit of peninsula. It's hard to make out from here, but we'll see when I get around here. Yeah, I think I might still be a ways from the midpoint, or at least what I think is the midpoint in Inspiration Point, but that's a nice view. Well, I definitely misjudged the distance on that a little bit. I thought I was just about at Inspiration Point, but it's been quite a hike still to get here, but this is great. This is the backside, and I mean, again, for this area, I'm really surprised at the elevation and the ups and downs, and I mean, it's been a good hike, and you know, not too strenuous. I'd say just about perfect for what I need, what I'm looking for right now. Yeah, I guess here's a little thing that shows the system, and I think I parked down here by the general store to start with, and I've done this, and I believe I came up this way to get to Inspiration Point, right up through here, and so that's where I'm at. Then I either have the option of coming down through these switchbacks down here, or, well, actually I think I'll go down this way and do this switchback, and then down. That'll take me down by the lake and around. So if I go back that way to the left, that'll be the switchback. It should take me down and around down here somewhere. Maybe that's the trail, I don't know. Anyway, down around, and then eventually will take me out over here by this dam or this levee, and it should take me along the bottom and back kind of to where I came from. So there's the view of the lake. Wow, it looks like it's really down. You can see the water was a lot higher certainly before, but man, what a great view up here. And I believe, you still can't see it, there's just too many trees, but I think right way over there on that peninsula, I think is where I'm camping tonight. I think that's where I'm parked, the general store. I think you can see the roof of it right back behind. So, all right, this has been good. You know, I feel like, I mean, first of all, it's been a blast, and second of all, I feel like I've got some really good information. I can definitely feel my left boot in the heel. There's kind of a hard spot. I took it off a minute ago and kind of felt, and it just feels like there's a, I don't know what, piece of leather, a piece of plastic or something that's kind of pushing out where the left heel is. And I don't know if it's a defect in the boot, or, I mean, I never noticed it before. It's probably just something you feel after you hike, 4 miles or something. But anyway, we'll see how that does. I'd say the boots are all right. They'll probably get me by for a little bit. But I'm kind of starting to feel that maybe they're a little broken down too, and I would guess probably not something I'll you know, if I continue to do a lot of hiking, probably not something that I'll continue to use. I'll need to come up with some substitute. So I think that I've done maybe a little over half the hike so far. I feel pretty good. I'm a little tired. I mean, I think I'll be ready to be done when I complete it. That's for sure. We'll see how I feel tomorrow morning. So I've hiked all around. I guess I was way up there, higher than that for sure, but maybe a couple tiers up. And I've hiked around. It looks like it says area beyond this sign's closed. That's that little levee area down there that we saw from up above. I've come out down below here, and you can see the lake here, closer to ground level. So now I've got to continue on this all along the lake. This is the far side we saw from up above, but then way down that way is where that peninsula is and everything, where I parked, and so I've got to traverse this around, and it does a couple little switchbacks and things. It's been a really good trail. I absolutely can see myself coming out here, you know, whenever I can, you know, whenever I have a whole day to drive out and maybe stay out here and stuff. Unfortunately, I don't see myself coming out here, you know, every day or 3 times a week. It's just a little too far, but well, what a great trail. It's gone all sorts of stuff, you know, from regular kind of flat path like this to, you know, areas with lots of rock, lots of climb. Seen a bunch of cactus and haven't seen much wildlife today, a few birds. One thing I've realized out here is this is also an equestrian path. So there must be a lot of horses out here. And the path is really divoted up for sure. Which is no big deal. I mean, you know, you can't hike across a little bit of that. Maybe you shouldn't be hiking. But it does make me kind of wonder, wow, that's a huge feather. Does make me wonder if, you know, when it's a little bit wet, if that makes it worse out here, or if the path gets really shredded up by the end of the, you know, by the end of the spring or the summer. So I don't know. I'll be out here again, and I'll be able to see what it's like. But I could envision that maybe when it's really muddy, it becomes a little more of a nightmare with horses on it. But who knows? Some turtles down there jumping in the water. A little bit of wildlife. Right there. Cool. All right, keep hiking. All right, well, I'm almost back. I'm almost done with the hike for today, and I feel pretty good about things. You know, I wish I was a little less tired. I wish I would like to have found out that this wasn't even quite enough for me, but I think it is for now. I think I'm gonna sleep pretty well tonight, and we'll see. I have to check out my feet when I get back. I've got still that spot on the inside of this heel right here, right in here, that is right in here, that's causing a bit of a problem. And then also kind of the knob on this foot, you know, right here where that rubs is getting me pretty good. You know, and I kind of expected that. I mean, without shoes that are in good shape and ones that you know, I fit specifically for an activity like this, I would expect to have a little bit of an issue. I think the question just is, as I'm probably just saying too many times, is, whether I can keep on with it for a little while. Maybe it's just that my feet are kind of soft and I get over it in a couple of weeks, and maybe not. So just something to file away. But everything else feels good. My knees are good. Everything's feel all right. And crash out tonight, relax a little, and maybe sleep in tomorrow and get up and try to do the south part of this trail, maybe another 5 miles or so, and see if I'm in any shape to do that. Okay, so I slept pretty well last night. I'm getting along this morning, already on the trail, and I feel pretty good. So I didn't wake up half dead or things not working anymore. So that's a good sign. Didn't quite have blisters on my feet, but they were pretty warm. So wouldn't surprise me if I got a little something like that happening this morning, but we'll just have to see. So yeah, doing a few miles already, or not a few miles, doing maybe 3/4 of a mile so far, and so I think I'll be all right this morning. I don't know, probably don't have the same amount of miles in me that I did yesterday, but try to get in a few. Maybe I can do 3 or 4 today, and before I get back and tear things down and head out. So yeah, that's probably not a ton more to say about it. I feel like I accomplished pretty much what I wanted to accomplish. I think I've kind of already gone through the things that I sort of discovered, so I don't want to waste a ton of time just repeating everything in detail, but for sure I think I need to find another place that's a little closer, although I would love to come back here as often as possible. Pretty sure I'm not going to find something quite like this with all the variation, elevation, and everything. I will just have to see. And now I'm going to stop talking for a second while I try to traverse this without falling in. Oh, all right. Made it. Lots of deer tracks. They must be here at some time or another, but not right now. So yeah, I think, I was a little cold last night. Again, I know this wasn't about testing out gear really, but definitely as I move forward and move this into backpacking, I'm going to have to get something different, get a different tent and get some sleeping bag and some things like that, but we'll get there. For now, I would say the location a little closer to me. I might start looking into shoes or boots. I'll probably keep hiking with these for a few times, but maybe I'll do a little research. I kind of already have, but I think I'll continue that. And maybe look at getting something relatively soon. Yeah, and I don't know if there's really much else I need to worry about. One thing I noticed yesterday is, even though it's not that warm out, I did get quite sweaty and hot as I was hiking, which is to be expected. But I've got a synthetic t-shirt on, but a cotton sweatshirt, and it's fine for what I'm doing right now. Probably fine for a while, but if it had gotten much colder last night, and if I'd gotten a little lost and turned around out here and it took me an extra hour or two to find my way back, I would have been in a really wet sweatshirt, cold, which is, real danger to a hiker. So now, which path do I take? That one looks cooler. Let's try this one. But it's so, yeah, that's probably something, you know, before I get out and do too much, or if I'm going to hike a little later or whatever, probably need to get a synthetic long sleeve shirt, synthetic long underwear shirt, or, you know, something, maybe a couple of synthetic layers that I can carry with me just to make sure that I'm safe when I'm out. I think certainly my backpack is good for just hiking like this, just throwing, you know, a couple extra pieces of clothing in and keeping some water bottles. And I think I'm in good enough shape to do something like this on a regular basis. So hopefully I can start getting in, 1, 2, maybe even 3 hikes a week like this, and you won't hear me panting so much in these videos after I get in a little better shape. That's kind of nice. See the trail down there. Not sure exactly where I am. I wonder if that over there is where that spring was. I can hear it. I can hear water. I would bet that might be that spring where the water was coming out of there. All right, I am just about back. A couple of corners here, and I will be back in the parking lot. So I think I'm gonna get on and look for a place a little closer to me, do the things I talked about, and I'm ready for outing 2. I feel really positive about this. I could have come out here and found out that I kind of didn't really have anything right, you know, or the stuff I thought I knew from when I used to hike a lot more, you know, maybe I was not quite right, or, you know, whatever. But I feel like I'm right on with this, and I'm just ready to keep going, get in a little better shape, and go to the next step. So once I find another location, I will certainly video from there, see how that goes, and then, you know, as soon as I feel comfortable, as soon as I've had a little time hiking around, getting in shape, then I will get together some kind of inexpensive backpack combination, you know, a tent and a pack and something that I can actually pack in, and then maybe at this new location, I can start sort of testing those limits a bit as well. Try out packing in and, you know, making sure that I've got all the right stuff and, you know, my gear's correct, and maybe do some camping in some less than ideal conditions, maybe some rainstorms or something like that, and see how that all works out, and we'll see where it goes from there. Thank you very much for watching, and if you enjoyed this, subscribe to the channel and click on the little bell next to the subscribe button to get notified anytime that I create a new video, and watch for new videos. I'll have another one real quickly, maybe next week, for outing number 2, and then 3, 4, 5, and we'll see where it goes from there. Very excited about this one. Outing number 1 is in the books.